All right, Tammy, it is all you.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Yay. So I'm going to show you a couple more of my pieces while we were kind of in that mode before. So my daughter just got a new apartment and she wanted a piece of art. So I made this for her because her favorite colors are pink and purple. But I always have to put a third color in there because that's just the way I am. Mm-hmm. So this is a strict pouring technique. This is what is called a dirty pour. And here are some of those cells that I was talking about earlier. Now this is another technique that I'm going to teach you tonight. This is called the swipe technique. And so this will also get you cells. All right. But this one is very, it's very easy. Very easy. And you can tell that I like pinks and purples too. Yeah. So here we go. So, all right. Put these back here. And the things that you're gonna need, and I know that you already got your list, but I'm still gonna point them out. I use pouring medium. Liquitex pouring medium. I don't particularly love this product because it is so expensive. This bottle right here was $14.95, 8 fluid ounces. You don't need a lot of it, but it does help with your pouring. Now,
Tammy, I can't see, I can only see your screen where you have the containers. I can't see. Oh yeah, now I can see that.
All right, because I have 2 screens going, so you can only see my. You can't see my other screen.
I'm only seeing your one. Let me see if I switch this.
Yeah. If you go up to that grid thing up in the upper right, there'll be like.
Yeah, I can see everybody else, and I can see but I can't see.
I'm muted on mine, but see, it will say Tammy Downing twice. You can't see the other. All right. No. So I'll do it this way.
Okay. Sorry.
That's all right. So I bought this. Now I have heard online and in all the little places that you can use white glue for your pouring medium. I have yet to try it. I'm going to try it tonight. All right. So it'll be an experiment for you and for me. But I got this at Dollar Tree. I just want you all to know that you don't have to spend a lot to do this particular craft. I also have the yogurt cups. These I just use. I like to prop up my pieces, and I also use them to mix my paints. I have my sticks. I also have baby oil. I think everything for you guys is backwards, isn't it? But you get the gist, right? I have the baby oil. I have all kinds of acrylic paint. It doesn't have to be fancy. Acrylic is the best kind to use for this. Has anybody ever used color shifting paint?
Nope.
No? It's really cool. I like to get that on sale either at Michael's or Hobby Lobby with the coupon because it does have such a cool effect. One of the things that I like to tell people when they're doing this is you want to use at least 3 colors in your pour. You can use more, but sometimes it gets muddy. Does that make sense? It gets, you too much of one thing. I also, when I say that, you also want to use a base color, whatever you think may be your background. Okay? So to me, I guess you can have your base color be whatever you want. I always do either black or white. That's just me. That's the way I've always been. But you can do any color you want. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your acrylic paints. You can even use the ones that are in the little 2-ounce bottles. Your best bet is to have a light shade, a dark shade, and a medium shade. What do I mean by that? Well, you don't want your colors to get muddy. Again, you want things to pop, right? And I don't know if you noticed, like mine all, you know, I'm a poppy kind of girl. I mean, look at my backsplash in my kitchen. I just like, all right, it's just the way I am. So what I'm going to do is my first pour, I'm going to do, let's see. I'm going to do a dark purple. I'm gonna do a mint. So this will be my light and my dark. All right. And then for my middle color, oh, this looks cool. I'm gonna use like a fluorescent red color. See, they don't have to match. Who cares? Especially if you're doing this with girls, right? If you're doing this with girls, they're gonna come up with some crazy, crazy colors. So what you wanna do with your paint is you don't want too much. All right, I'm gonna move some of this. Notice I don't even have a canvas yet. All right. You don't want too much. You literally just want a little bit. Can you see that in there? I can't tell which way to put it. There we go. All right. So you just want a little bit. This kind is fairly thick. That's not going to do well for your pour if it's thick. All right. So what you do now, I'm already making a mess. What you do now is you want to thin it out with a little bit of water. And you want it like, I always say, a little bit thinner than pancake batter. All right. So right now, that's pretty thin. All right. It's kind of lumpy right now. It's going to thin out because we're going to stir, 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 stir. Okay. And now, between the paint and the water, you're going to see that there's paint and water in here. You want to put in about an equal amount, and I'm going to do blue because I said I was going to try blue. If you have the pouring medium, you can use that. But you want equal amounts of your water and paint mixture along with whatever glue you're using, okay? Or whatever pouring medium you're using. So you would, yeah, this is a brand new bottle. Hold on. So you pour that in, and don't worry about it if it's not exact. Don't overthink it. It's fine. All right. It will lighten up your color a little bit if you use something other than the pouring medium. But I'm just going to continue to stir this. All right. And see, can you see the thickness of that? Kinda. I'm not good on Zoom. But it's a little bit thinner. I don't know. I would say it'd be more like, I don't know if anybody makes crepes, but like crepe batter, you want it kind of on the thin side, but not so thin that it's gonna run all over the place. All right, so that's color number one. Is anyone else doing this with me?
Should we?
You guys can do this with me if you'd like. All right, and I can wait. But I'm gonna go on to my next color. So I'm gonna do my fluorescent. Ooh, I got a little too much paint in there, but who cares? Now see, this paint is a little bit thinner than that last bit, so I'm not gonna use as much water. All right. Now I'm gonna put in my glue for my pouring medium. That's why you want cheap glue, because you kind of use a lot of it. You don't want to be using your good Aleene's tacky glue that costs $3.99 or something like that. You want to use something that's, you know, doesn't cost a whole lot, just enough to make it so it's a little thicker and spreadable. So there's that. All right. And then my purple. All right. Oh, that's a nice thick purple. All right. I could tell how old some of my paints are by how thick they are. So we're going to go ahead and stir that up. And the good thing about putting the water in your paint too is it stretches out your paint a little bit more too. Of course, you know, because you are pouring it, so it does tend to, you use a lot of paint. All right, and now I'm going to add the glue. All right, so there's that. How's everyone doing? What colors are we using, ladies?
I have yellow, red, and orange.
Ooh, yours is gonna be fiery.
Yes.
I like it.
I didn't get a tissue though.
That's all right. All right, so we got a nice consistency here. And then I'm gonna let you guys choose what my base color should be. Do you think it should be black or white? Not everybody at once.
I think white.
White.
White, okay. I will do white.
I only have white, so I'll have to use that as my base.
That's okay. You just want a good base color to anchor all your colors together. Now, most of my materials here, not all, most of my materials I did get at the Dollar Tree. You can get a lot. When I was doing this, you know, before I had this job, I was on tour a lot. I owned a tour company, and but there was a lot of downtime from November until like March. There's not a whole lot of touring going on in the Northeast. So this is when I would do my acrylic pouring. And when I would do it before, I would, like, I tried doing so many different kinds of ways of doing this stuff. It's so much fun. It's so much, and kids love it. I've taught this to, I would say I've taught it to kids in grades, I would say brownies, they might be a little young, but they can do it. It's not hard. It's just, you know, they make a mess. So I would say that this would be good for juniors and up. All right. So this, oh, that's still a little thick. I'm gonna put a little more water in.
What is your touring company, Tammy?
I had a touring company. It was called Out of the Box Tours.
Oh,
And we would do walking tours all over New England.
uh-huh.
But and then I would go to New York City and Washington, D.C. I've been to San Francisco,
wow.
all over the country, really. I didn't go international. There's a lot of my friends that do international, and I'm still getting offered jobs. I tell them that I have a 9-to-5 job now, and they don't care. Because I just got a tour, and of course with COVID, I wouldn't want to do anything anyway.
Yeah.
But I just got an offer to go to Zimbabwe for 12 days in
Wow.
November, and I'm like, no. I might have said yes, but no.
It sounds interesting though.
So yeah, I was the crazy lady that would take the 8th graders to Washington, D.C. If you remember,
Yeah.
you know how the kids go to Washington, D.C. I was there probably 5 or 6 times a year, doing tours with kiddos.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And a lot of
You're
New
brave.
York City tours too.
Yeah.
All right. So this is where you want to, whatever surface you're doing it on, you want to raise up your canvas. All right. You want to raise it up because you're pouring and you want it to drip off. You want a place for it to go. You don't want your canvas sitting in a puddle. So that's why I said, like, I always save these yogurt cups, you know, or just regular old cups like this, you know, whatever you want, just to raise that up a bit. All right. And now you want to put on your gloves because this is when it gets messy. All right. If you got them, it isn't necessarily like, it's not like it's just acrylic paint. But then again, I already got purple all over my thumb.
I have yellow on my hands.
There you go. So it just helps. But if you don't have them, it's not absolutely necessary. All right. So I'm all gloved up. Now, what I do, remember what we talked about, those cells? So this is where the magic happens, okay? So I'll take the white. Probably not the best one to take. And you want to take the baby oil or whatever it is that you have. If you have your WD-40, you can use baby oil. You can use the most popular thing to use in this, with this particular craft, believe it or not, the one that gives you the best cells, it's called treadmill oil, and you can get it online on Amazon for like $5. And you literally only use drops. If you use more than a drop or two, then you are using too much. Okay, you're just gonna have a big oil slick on your hands, and it's not gonna give you that effect that you want. It's just gonna be an oily mess. So you literally, when you're putting this in your paint and you wanna put it in at this point, you just wanna put in the scantest amount. And usually I have like a baby dropper or something like that. So I don't, and when you do get the treadmill oil, it has a little squeeze bottle thing, you know? So you only get to put a drop or two on anyway. But with baby oil, this is a little bit different. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip this stick in here like this, and then just let it drip in.
Okay.
Now don't stir. Don't do, you're gonna be tempted. Don't, just put it away. Then take your next one
So you got to make sure it's thick enough before you put the oil in.
Yes, you want to make sure it's like crepe batter or
Okay.
what. I can't think of another batter that would be thin like that. All right, so just dip in your thing and just do. All right, don't stir. And I'm just gonna put, and sometimes I don't even put them in every single one. I'm just gonna put them in every single one just to show you guys. But you really don't need to. You could put it in just one of them. And you'll still hopefully get cells. Not everybody gets cells. So don't be disappointed if you don't get cells. Because today, it's like, it's acrylic pouring. It's one of those mediums that it's like, you never know what it is that you're gonna get. And that's the beauty of this. All right. So I want everybody to tell me when they're ready.
All right, I'm just gonna go get a tray though for mine.
Okay, go ahead. Judy, you're doing it too, right?
I am, yep.
Yeah, are you all ready?
I think so. I got a little box and my little fella's in there, my canvas.
Yep. All right. So this is what we call a dirty pour. All right. So you could do, what I'm going to do is called a dirty pour. If you choose, you can do a different kind of pour, which is just a pour, which is a standard pour where you take it and you would take a little bit of every color and just pour it on the canvas, right? And you would keep on pouring in the same spot and you would watch the whole thing kind of spread out, right? And that's your pour. But I'm gonna do what's called a dirty pour, which is like the next level of pouring, but it's not hard, trust me. So there's my cup. You never know which way to go in here. All right, I'm gonna pour a little bit of white that I did not stir with the baby oil in it. All right.
It's hard not to stir it.
I know it's hard. That's why I said not to do it.
Yeah.
All right. And then we're just gonna add all the colors to this.
Oh, to the same cup.
All to the same cup.
You put the white one first?
I did. I personally put the white one first. You can put whatever you want first.
Okay.
All right. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no right or wrong. All right. So you just keep on adding.
And just a little bit? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I kind of, it doesn't look like a little bit. I put about probably, I don't know. It's, see, because there's no exact science to this. It's so hard to know. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to put some more of this orangey pink in. And then I'm going to put a little more of this minty green, or I don't know what to call this.
Pretty.
What's it called on the bottom? Ocean green. I don't think it's very oceany, but anyway. All right. And now, can you see in here how we're getting cells already? Can you see how this stuff is popping up to the top and it's like little bubbles in there?
Well, yeah, it's like splitting away from itself.
Yeah, that's the oil. You can't, which way do I go? There we go.
There we go.
All right. All right. Everybody tell me when you're ready. Oh, we got Sue still pouring into her dirty pour cup.
It's fine. I mean, there's no amount it needs to be specifically.
I know, it's like, and that's why I say to do the base color, because I'm going to show you what to do when,
Okay.
because it's gonna spread, right? Mm-hmm. But there's gonna be spots that are missed and you're gonna be like, oh no. And that's why you have that one base color, because you kind of put the white there right straight on the canvas. So what I'm gonna do is take this and flip it,
Wow.
right? Flip it right upside down.
Good
I
one.
hold my hand on it. You guys ready for this?
Okay, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, I'm watching.
All right, I'm gonna put it back on my little thing. All right, you guys ready for the magic?
Oh my
Look at
goodness.
that.
Look at that color.
And look, and then you can take your canvas and you can start tilting it to get all the little areas. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
Look at that. Ooh. Now, some people like to tape the back of their canvas. I like to keep them, I don't tape the back of my canvas.
Wow, that's pretty. It's
There we
really
go.
pretty.
Look at that.
Hmm.
Very pretty.
And then what I do too, see how there's some, so the white, like normally when you have a huge canvas, it's hard to cover the whole thing. Look, there's a nice cell coming up right there and there and there and there. You can take the white or whatever color you have for your base color and fill in like this corner over here. See how it's kind of white? But I also will scoop up some that fell and just kind of dab it on there. So you could do either or. There's some here that got missed, but that's it. That's an acrylic pour.
Wow. And how long does it take to dry?
3 weeks.
Oh, okay. A while. Don't touch it then.
Hey,
Well, oh, let's see it. Let's see it, Judy. You can do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Well, so far.
Okay, yeah, so far.
Pull it. Pull my thingy.
I feel like a surgeon right now. Ooh, see the cells popping out even more on here? It's
Wow.
gonna change. Like over the next few hours, you're gonna check it and it's gonna look different than it does right now, too. That's the other beauty of it.
Oh my gosh.
My dog is whining. Can you guys hear my dog whining?
He says, Mama, I want to put my paws in there.
I know. I'm like, no, you cannot. Yeah. I know. I'm not paying any attention to him. I'm very mean. Ooh, look at yours, Sue.
Yeah, it's working. I'm wondering if I didn't put enough though.
That's all right. That's why you have that base color. And so you'll put that in those white spots because, you know, it's kind of foolproof.
Oh, all right.
I have to give him a bone or something to shut him up. All right, Judy, we want to see.
I don't know. Can you see?
Yeah. Ooh.
I'll probably get it on my laptop.
I know. Be careful.
I think I could have added more paint.
Yeah, and that's why that's why you have that base color to
Yeah.
fill in those areas that you were not sure if you were gonna get.
But
You
it
know,
almost looks
so
like
it kind of
stones.
makes up for it. So, all right, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick, and then I'm gonna show you another technique. I could only find one set of gloves, so All right, I'm gonna move this one over to dry. Then we're gonna get another one.
It's neat how the oil pushes away from the colors.
I know, isn't that cool?
Hmm,
All right.
that is funky.
All right. So this happens to be a 5x7 canvas. It really doesn't matter what size canvas you use. You can get your canvases anywhere. I happen to get these at Dollar Tree, but sometimes I even get them at Goodwill or at yard sales. Like I've been able to get some really, really big ones and get like a really ugly old painting that someone else did. You could pour right over that.
Oh,
That's
true.
the beauty of that too. So you're you know, like reduce, reuse, and recycle, right? So, all right. So this technique, and I know that probably most of you don't have two canvases, but I'll just show you the technique because it's really cool. How much time do we have? Okay, we got plenty of time. So this is called that swipe technique that I told you about. Now these are, I'm gonna use all the same colors I just used because I got plenty of paint left, all right? So I'm just gonna kind of saturate this canvas with some white, all right? I'm just kind of, no rhyme or reason, doesn't really matter. Sometimes I'll take a little craft stick and push it around a little bit. All right, just to cover everything. It still is very thick on here though. Still very thick. All right, so now I'm gonna take the other colors I just did. Now this is all the exact same paints, and I'm just gonna put a little line. Well, there's hardly any left in this one. A little line. Let's do purple. Ooh, that one went a little thicker than I wanted, but that's all right. And I'll do another line of orangey pink. All right. Now, this is where it gets fun. All right. Doesn't look like anything right now, does it? It's just kind of blah and boring. So now, you just take an ordinary paper towel or a napkin or whatever disposable type of thing you have, and you get it wet. Now you don't want it soaking wet, you just want it, you want it, the whole thing wet, but you don't want it soaking wet. All right, so here, all right. And now you only get one shot at this.
Pressure, pressure.
I know. So here we go. This is the swipe technique. Ah! That's it.
Mm.
And look, I'm getting cells right here. Darn it. Here. Ooh, that's kind of cool. So there you go. Another technique to use for your acrylic pouring. Like I said, you could also just pour color on top of color on top of color. That's another technique that people use, and then swirl it around the way you want. And then one other technique that I really enjoy is doing a double dirty pour, where you have 2 cups. That's what some of these are back here. You have 2 cups and you flip them both over. Not an easy task. And you lift them both up
Oh,
And
wow.
the results are usually stunning on those. So anyway, what did everybody think? Let's
Beautiful.
see, Sue. Let's see.
Could
Looks
you,
beautiful.
Well, let's see. I've been looking at it this way, I guess. Oh, you
I
can't.
know we can't see it very good now. It's like fading into the background.
Ah,
There
there.
we go.
There
I
it
see it. Oh, yeah, so pretty. All right, Judy. Do you dare hold yours up? Oh,
Wow.
look at yours.
Oh, nice.
Tammy, could you use a sponge to
A
move,
sponge for what?
to move the paint around?
You can. Yeah, you can use a sponge for like the for that swipe technique.
Yep.
Yep, you can use a sponge for that as well. I tried it with a sponge once, and I get it. The sponge makes it a little heavy-handed, if that makes sense. And that's why I like paper towels or napkins, because then it's a much lighter touch,
Mhm.
and you can just kind of, you know. But I mean, if you have a light touch with the sponge, I get in there and I'm like, you know, yeah, you can, but you can definitely do it. I've seen people do it with the sponge.
And you said it takes 2 or 3 days to dry?
No, it takes quite a while to dry. It takes a few weeks.
Oh, a few weeks. Okay.
Sometimes. Yeah. Usually it's funny because when I do these, so I will go and teach this at different places like the Boys and Girls Club in Manchester and Hope for New Hampshire Recovery. And it always seems like I have to time it so it's like right at, because all these kids want to give it to their parents for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so I make sure that we have our workshops right after Thanksgiving, so to be sure it's dry enough. When this is completely dry, you can leave it as is. You do not have to seal it or protect it in any way if you don't want to. Or if you prefer, if you like a glossy finish or a matte finish, you can spray it with that acrylic, polyacrylic type of spray, or you can don't use Minwax on it. I've done that, and it reacts with the oils that are already in it. And before you actually do seal it, you do want to blot it with something that's going to soak up that excess oil, because there's going to be, because you put, even though it's a couple drops, there's still some oil in here, so you kind of want to blot that up. Sometimes there's a, you know, it depends. If you got heavy-handed with your oil, there's going to be a lot of oil, but usually, excuse me, so rude.
Tammy, did you only put the baby oil then in the white?
No, I put it in all 4 colors.
Oh,
But you
see,
don't have to.
yeah,
You can do
I
it however you want. If
did it
you
in
wanted to
white.
put it
Okay.
in a couple colors, you can. If you don't want cells, you don't have to put it in at all. Like, you can do whatever you want.
So even though we mixed the other colors into it, you'd still put the oil in all the colors?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't do that part then. All right.
But you're okay. No, yours is very beautiful.
Yeah.
Very, and you know what? If we were able to do this in person, we would have been doing it all together.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
it's a whole different world when we're doing these things on Zoom.
I know. Yeah. Huh.
Any more questions?
No, it was fun.
Yeah. It was
Yay!
cool.
All right. Well, maybe I'll bring it to Farnsworth Weekend next year.
Yes, that would be a good idea. I've never seen
Tammy,
this technique before.
Tammy, this was amazing. I loved it.
Thank you.
Yay!
I'm not usually a crafty kind of girl, but I might have to try this out tomorrow.
Yeah,
This
you
is
can do
really,
it.
it's not hard at all. And it's really a good craft for your girls too.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to cut you off, Tammy. Were you done, or did you have more that you were doing?
I'm
Right.
done.
Did anybody have any questions for Tammy?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
So
Available.
real quick, before everybody signs off, I just wanted to real quick remind you guys about the rest of the workshops that we have coming up this next week. So we have Oh, that's the wrong slide. Never mind. I will just run through them real quick in my head because I'm sharing the wrong slide. Now I can't figure out how to stop sharing. Sorry, distracted. So Monday night at 7 o'clock, we have line dancing fun with Ginger. So that'll be a great time. If you haven't checked that out, you might want to give that one a check out. We talked about Wednesday night. Wednesday night is the Learn to Embroidery Together that is happening. And then on Thursday night, we are having a panel discussion, and a bunch of different troop leaders from around the council that have really had some success in using Zoom or doing virtual, or even if it's not virtual, but doing kind of like distance troop meetings with their girls. And they're going to be sharing some of the different things that they've tried that have been really successful for their troops. So those are the 3 other workshops that'll be coming up this week. So feel free to check them out. And we will be continuing to add some workshops to the schedule. So make sure you check frequently and see if there's anything else that strikes your fancy. But Tammy, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
It was great.
Yeah.
You guys, it was fun.